and coughing. I like to hear it. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much.
Thank you.
Yeah, yeah.
Things are
Um,
good. I'm getting over the cough.
awesome, awesome. Well, yeah. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Bat Community Call for Tuesday, October 22nd, 2024. Hope you all are doing well and having a good week. A lot going on. As usual, we just jumped from one call to this one. But yeah, I wonder, have we got Jenny here with the deck or Drew with the
I
deck?
think Paula's got the deck. She's going to
Paula's got the
share.
deck. Hello,
Yeah.
Paula. Oh, Keith
Hi,
is back too.
everyone.
Welcome back, Keith.
I'm going to be sharing in just a minute.
Awesome, awesome.
Yeah. Good to have Keith back.
Absolutely.
Bow's is back.
Bounce is back. Guillermo's making videos.
Yeah, man.
Loving it.
Everything's going.
Cooking. All right. Let's see here. Let's see the deck.
Can you see it?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yep.
perfect. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting for Jenny to join.
Yep, I'm here. I think we're
Hey,
ready to
Jen.
go. Hey.
All
Okay.
right.
All right, let's dive in. Paula, can you please hop to the next slide for me? And the next one? Perfect. So hi everyone, hope you're having a great Tuesday. Thanks for joining today. First update of the week is that I wanted to remind everybody that the Sage Burn event for our Bat X Atom Ape for Brave NFT collection is officially ending on October 31st. So if you everybody here is probably familiar. We've talked about this so many times, so I'm not going to go into all of the details. We actually have a whole post dedicated to this announcement on Reddit. Should be pinned to the top of the Bat Project subreddit. But for everybody else, you have a couple days left to burn for your Sage NFT if you want it. But if you don't, the DGen NFT, which is the third rarest NFT in the collection, or originally was, is now the rarest because there have been more sages burned than there are degens in existence. So, fun fact. And if you do want to purchase our NFTs before burning them, or you need to purchase them before burning them, you can get them on Magic Eden, on Hyperspace, or Tensor. And I believe they're very affordable. So that's that update. And to burn, you would just go to bat.bandit.network. As you can see, I have a little screenshot of the bat.bandit.network page up here on the screen. And there's a button right at the top of the screen that says Claim Sage. You connect your Brave wallet or other Web3 wallet, wherever you have your NFTs that you need to burn. You select the NFTs to burn, and then you hit Claim Sage. And it will basically send your three other NFTs to an irretrievable address, and you will get the Sage NFT. So that's how that works. If you have any questions about it, please let us know. You can reach me in Discord, Twitter, here. You all know where to find us. All right. So that's that update. And yes, and so this week we have some cool spaces with Unfungible, our X Spaces partners. So we have the obstacles of education, the ongoing battle tomorrow. Luke may or may not be there, but we have a couple members from the community team who will be on the panel. We also have Legacy Network, Step In, Me AI, and Open Campus. And this Friday we have the move toward interactive content with, of course, the community team, Kibby, Grid, SpinTop, and KPR. And we also had two really great spaces last week. We had What Does Attention Mean to You? And we had How to Increase Web3 Adoption. And you can find both of those recordings on the Attention Token X account if you're interested in listening. All right, over to you, Guillermo.
Hey everyone! Great news from Echo side of things. We have reached and surpassed 100,000 followers. This was initially a goal that we had set for the end of the year, but just now in Batsober we have reached it and it's insane. I know that Jenny has a heads up, so jump on in. I think it
Probably
was a false
probably a
call.
I
misclick.
missed by
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, all right, all good. So basically, like 100,000 followers is insane. Right now, I'm trying to focus on what the next goal will be, and I think will be 500,000, so 500,000. I don't think this is, impossible or anything. DJan Poet, which is one of the creators and founders of Drip.house, has over 1 million. So 500,000 sounds very plausible, especially considering that in just 2 days we have gained over 200 followers after the 100 initial thousand. So very excited about that. 500,000 is the next goal, and we have had across our claimables. So for those of you who are not familiar with Drip, it used to be set in a model that you would get free CNFTs, compressed NFTs from every channel that you would be subscribed to. But now they changed it that you have to manually claim that. And after that change, that happened around 2 months ago or so, we have had over 12,000 manual claims. We've also had over 2.5 thousand thank yous, which just basically means that people pay some droplets just to say they appreciate our drop. I think it costs 4 droplets. Droplets are also given for free, but they are also needed to do the claims for the CNFTs. So people are just spending some of those extra droplets just to say thank you, which I think is amazing. And the fact that we have over 2.5 thousand of them just really goes to show the overall um, acceptance of the community and Echo. We have released 3 magazines in total and 2 zines that we have released this month alone. Next slide, thank you. To celebrate 100,000, which I think is a huge milestone and I think should 100% be celebrated, pun intended, I think we're going to do a special drop for it. And for that drop, I'll do a common static image that is basically as shown in the slide, and a legendary, which I'll try to animate so we can have like the blinking eye. So it basically alludes to privacy, and we also have a way to promote Brave through these drops, especially celebrating the 100,000 followers. Like I said, 500,000 next. Next drop. So every week, as you guys might have been seeing, I've been releasing not only videos but weekly drops on Thursdays, 4 p.m. UTC +1. And this week is no different. And there's a new drop coming. You'll have 4 weeks to claim it, the same way that you have 4 weeks to claim the prior ones and the one next week. This one will only feature one trait, a common, because I just want to go over the analytics. Initially, the people at Drapes told us that having different traits like rare, legendary, etc., would actually increase the number of claims. But I want to test that, and we'll use this collection to do so. So these are what the new collection looks like. It's designed specifically to be used as backgrounds for Brave. So whenever you open a new tab in between the advertisement, you'll be able to see this versus just the images on rotation, and you'll have something, that celebrates bad and that promotes bad. I think they look pretty decent, and I'll be sure to have them available so you can download them directly to Drip, not only giving you true ownership over them, but also some utility for the Brave browser. Okay, so these are some individual stats. So these are specific for the drops that we did after Drip changed their model. So the claiming model where people have to manually claim. And on the third issue of Echo meme coins, we had 4.6 thousand, actually over 4.6 thousand claims for that NFT. So people manually claimed over four. Actually, it should be over 4.6 thousand people claimed it. The floor price on third-party markets such as Tensor is currently set at 0.0026 Sol, which is around 50 cents USD, which I think is really, really cool to see considering that we are distributing these entirely for free. Like people could just go in there and make an account and claim this for free, and then they have some real value on a third-party market. And I think that's really, really cool. It reminds me of the old days on Steam when they integrated the market, and it could sell like very obscure skins from games in that market, and you win like an euro or something or 50 cents. Yeah, I don't know, man. At those times, it really made me feel like I knew the market so well, and it was really crazy days. 15-year-old Guillermo was very happy about it. But again, very cool to see that we are, just distributing for free, and they're holding some real prices in outside markets. And for the first one, we had over 334 thank yous. And then those last two are for zines that are still available, so these numbers could actually grow, especially the latter one, which has only 3.4.2 and 212, but it's only been up for 4 days. So these numbers are very likely to go up, and I'm very excited about this. So this is it from my end, and if you're not subscribed to Echo, you really should.
All right, I'm gonna jump in for battering on the meme there. It just makes me chuckle, seeing that he's not able to make it here tonight. Um, so main thing is the ambassador updates. What he's been working on besides the memes, it is classic battering. But he's been working on the Notion and getting that all updated. With information for the ambassadors, things like that, and where we have them all over the world, and who's where and what, and those kind of things, so we can kind of run more efficiently and streamline things a little bit. And then he's been clearing out the applications from the previous batch of folks that have been trying to become ambassadors, and kind of changing that onboarding process to a little, more streamlined as well, and just getting more people in as ambassadors. And then we've got a community space scheduled, thanks to Bows. And of course, Bows can jump on and talk more about it if he wants to here in a bit. But it was with Premier. It's someone that he's been, talking to, and we've talked to in the past, and that's going to be 6 p.m. GMT. Which, what time is that our time, Bows? Well,
I believe it's 1 p.m.
1
Eastern
p.m.
time.
Eastern. Yeah, okay, that's what I was
So I
thinking too.
guess noon your time.
Noon Central, yeah, 10 Pacific. So that's something to be on the lookout for, kind of like we used to do with the community spaces, where we'd have another project on, just kind of talk about their project, talk about Brave Bad a little bit, and go from there. So that's something coming up on Thursday to look forward to, in addition to the normal spaces that we're doing with Unfungible on Wednesdays and Fridays. So, and then as far as what I had to add here is just the normal trivia, poker, memes, and of course, lots of partner talks still ongoing, and also it's been kind of cool to see some progress on some of the talks that we've been having, and also getting new referrals and things from the groups like Unfungible. And I think whether it just becomes collaborations that we do like we've done with some of the other projects, or people actually buying ads, I think it'll kind of it's heading towards that way. So it's cool to see that some of those fruits are, their work's starting to bear some fruit. And then I don't know, I guess it's kind of coming up on holidays and stuff like that, but at the same time I feel like things are in a way kind of picking up as well. So I guess we'll see how it goes. Maybe Luke can correct me if I'm wrong there, but it seems like things are going well, even though there may be some slowdowns with holidays and stuff like that. But I think that's all we had. Whoever's next, probably Godson or Paula.
Yes, it's me. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Godson, and I have your African ambassadors update for the week. I hope my mic is loud and clear over there, chat. So yeah, this week we have just a couple things scheduled. We're trying to bring back the Afro spaces that we used to do, back, like 2 months ago, before I, traveled and stuff, and came back. I kind of there's this like comments that Jenny made yesterday on one of the calls. She was like, "We've only had two sort of like non-official, spaces hosted by ambassadors, and it's this one and the Crypto Dojo ones." And I was like, damn, really? I thought we were doing a lot more than that. But we're trying to bring this back now. Again, this is me sort of like begging everybody, like, oh, if you have the chance, if you want to jump on, if you're free at the time, don't be afraid to hop on with us. I will update everyone with like the time and the topic when it eventually is like scheduled to fit everybody's time frames and stuff. But yeah, we'll hopefully bring that back and make it bigger than ever and more continuous, I guess. Moving on, Stan is this week following the Kiboko Dao University tour to Kenyatta University in Kenya on the 24th to the 26th. This is part of the, part of the partnership we're having with Kiboko Dao, where they're doing like a month-long university tour to like a bunch of countries in East Africa through like universities and stuff. This will continue to like November the 15th, I believe. So we'll have our ambassadors in that region sort of like follow along and try to promote us as well. Stan is here, I believe. If you want to say something about the Stan, go ahead. If not, I have learned that kiboko is the Swahili word for hippo. So I figure you guys might want to learn that too. Last week, our new ambassador, Oexodus, also attended an event on his campus. It was a Microsoft community session, but he was friends with. Thank you. He was friends with the organizers, so they gave him like a couple minutes just to sort of like talk about Brave and talk about the on-chain rewards and that kind of stuff. And he also did like a little airdrop, which is like the same thing Stan has been doing on this like university tour. He's gonna do an airdrop too when he goes to the Kenyatta University, and then Adam Mike might also do an airdrop as well for the spaces. All the Afro ambassadors have really been like trying out this new strategy of like talking about the on-chain rewards and then also like doing like an airdrop to sort of like get people to use the Brave wallet as well, sort of like a full 360 of like all the, well, not all, but like a good amount of the tech that we offer really. And I have some pictures up on the next slide. Siguiente página, por favor. Thank you. So on the far left there is Oexodus, the new ambassador, and some pictures from the event, the Microsoft session, like that I was just talking about, and that, that's him sort of like giving the presentation about Brave and BAT and on-chain rewards and all that good stuff. And a picture up there on the top right is the attendance. So not a massive event, but still well attended for like a university session. So yeah, that's him in the bottom, in the middle, sort of like doing the airdrop as well. Showing people how like the Brave wallet works and everything. And then to the bottom right there is the Kiboko DAO flex. We call them flexes in Nigeria, but they called something else. Everywhere else, I guess the campaign poster for the Kiboko DAO event at Kenyatta University, and you can see it's kind of small, but you can see the Brave logo right smack in the middle there next to the Lisk logo because we are an official media sponsor. Yeah, that's it. That's it for me. Thank you guys. Thank you, Paula. Back to you.
Thank you, Godson, and great Spanish. It was very funny. So, hi everyone. I hope you're doing great today. I have some additional updates for you. So, I'm still working on the search video. Jenny and I worked on the script together together. And now I'm in the recording process, which is the part that usually takes more time. But I will be posting it later this week, and I really hope you like it. And like I said last week, the Latam Bad Ambassadors and I wanted to we wanted to focus a little bit more on engagement in X through the regional accounts, like reposting and creating posts from the Brave and Bad account. They all have been working on different areas, but I think it's important to engage with our bigger audience and just stay active as a community and localize the content there. So here are some posts we have localized this week, specifically from Bad Honduras, Bad Costa Rica, and of course, Bad Latam. And we will get more from Colombia, Venezuela, and Mexico too. So we made a couple of posts related to the scam alert we shared, and also about Echo Magazine. So we'll continue to post more. And here's like the weekly Brave Shield from X. So this time, thanks to Belladone for sharing the posts with us. And so I found all these awesome replies, and I'm sure there are many more on the thread. And of course, I had to reply as well. But yeah, I wanted to share this with you. So thank you for always spreading the word about Brave and Bad and just being there for us. And that's all from my side today. Thank you so much.
Oh, I guess that's everybody. Thank you so much, Paula, for manning the deck today. And thank you, community team. Awesome updates. Back to you, Luke.
Yeah, great updates. Hey, Bows, you got a hand up too. What's up, man?
Yeah, since Drew kind of put me on the spot a little bit earlier, I didn't realize it was fully confirmed. But yeah, we are doing a space with Premiere. They're kind of over there on Objective. They're pretty active there. It's kind of hear what they have going on and some of their projects. They kind of have their own. They've had some other sub projects. I think they're by far the biggest like NFT project on their chain. But I know like recently they've been really into doing some like kind of interesting things related to older free mint that they did, where they were kind of like burning all the fees they earned and using them for kind of like interesting community things that could spark even ideas like within our own community for like potential community initiatives if we want to do something a little outside the box. And they also kind of have their own meme coin that's been doing pretty well, all things considered. And they kind of been tearing it up on the meme front over the last couple of months. So kind of just want to talk to them about that. I'm sure our resident meme lord, Battern, will be decided to talk to them a little bit further about that too. But kind of want to hear like kind of about their approach and like some of the things they've done and what they've seen that's worked, since they've kind of been doing a little bit different than some of the other communities that I've engaged with.
Awesome. No, that's great. Love to hear it. Love seeing the initiative too. It's just really cool to see these things happening and getting other points of view and takes from other projects too, and bringing them all to everybody. I think it's great. Also too, like I forgot to mention this earlier, but like Drew made a cool tweet last week. I'll put it in the chat, but it's kind of calling out like the new addresses they saw, like 2370 new bat holders over the past 2 days from rewards with payments going out. So I think it's really cool to see those as we roll out more and more people on chain. It's neat to have that active stat going, and we'll work on some metrics from our side too that we can start to display at these rollout. But I thought that was super cool. Keep those posts coming. It's really cool to see that stuff. And I guess I'll open it up more broadly if people have questions or things they want updates on. Happy to.
I was just gonna hop in on that, Luke. Yeah, I totally thought about that after I did the deck, and so, but yeah, it's cool to see the rewards roll out for the self custody folks, and got really close to 5,000 holders of BAT on Solana now. So yeah, that'll continue to grow, and that'll be cool to watch. And that was just me kind of skimming the numbers, like looking at it briefly. There was actually probably more than that that actually went out, because I'm sure some people, sold it and things like that. But that was just kind of a quick eyeball of the numbers. So, but it's cool to see that it's growing. It's really, kind of grew a lot from the previous month.
I mean, so it's awesome too. It's just that, it's one of those things where you can just go check it, and post about it when you notice it too. It's super neat. And yeah, and also too on the we saw the Pudgy house ad too, the Pudgy Penguins house ad with Brave Talk. And we've actually been talking with more of the folks over there too about some things we could do together. And I've got a podcast episode with Luca that we're going to be releasing pretty soon. That was awesome. But I think, again, like these community efforts, whether it's like Karate Combat or Pudgy or whatever, all these spaces and meetups and great things that people are bringing together. I think that's one of the cool things that we can do. Encourage people to bring more of them up front. Yeah, we've got a bunch of things in the hopper right now. I can we'll be rolling out the next couple of weeks. But yeah, cool. Anybody have any other questions or things we want to bring up? Let's talk through them. Or interesting stuff that or you guys are noticing that we want to talk about, or anything. Godson, you're not bald, right? Are you bald? What was that? Is that a meme yet?
What?
Very, very bald.
I need to plug in my.
For those of you who did not understand, he said he was bald.
I think I just walked in over and that's sorry, dude.
I think my son wants to say something.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, sorry. I think I'm back in. Hello, everybody. I just want to say that I am not bald, but I am in fact taller than Drew. That's a fact, by the way, by at least like 2 or 3 inches.
I think that was bad angle on the camera is more so what that was. You're like,
I haven't even released the picture. You know what I mean? I'm just waiting for the right opportunity to show everybody. Like I am significantly like me and you is kind of like like a long distance relationship. When I look down, I'm like, hey man, how you doing over there? And then you're like, hey, what's up? What's the weather like up there? And then I'm like, all right, it's all right, man.
he's like an inch taller, maybe.
It's awesome.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to add except that we, of course outside of just kind of the African ambassador stuff, we're also trying to like sell a bunch of ads and stuff like that, and we had that one breakthrough, but things seem to have stalled a little bit too as well. It's kind of I don't know what it is, but it's kind of hard to like convince people to take the jump in and be like, hey, do you want to spend a couple bands on some ads, right? Even though like for some reason money seems to be flowing, incredibly to like quote unquote KOLs and stuff, but it's like we can offer you much more impressions than somebody can do with like a tweet or a video or whatever. But
no, that's a good point.
They don't want to bite,
That's a good point too, and that reminds me of I'll share this other post. So I forgot to mention this earlier too. We did a update on the proposal. I mean, not the proposal, the Polkadot stuff that we ran. Just wrapped up actually like last week, and hang on, where's that at? Hang on, let me get the tweet for that. We just wrapped it up, and I was tweeting about it. Oh, come on.
Was it them who was spending $300,000 a month on KOLs or whatever?
Yeah, well, that was part of it, was that like we had done this proposal with them, polka.gov. I'm trying to find it. Like we literally tweeted out. Here we go. Okay, I found it. So basically, like it was a roundup, and we didn't even put the new tab takeover stuff in. But this is what's super cool about it, and maybe this is helpful for some of the stuff you guys are doing, Godson too. Is like when you throw money at like the KOL stuff, like sometimes they're able to measure that stuff, but I don't know. That's one of those things where when all that marketing stuff came out around that treasury and people were scrutinizing it, it was like there weren't examples in there like this one where it's like, dude, you guys deploy the treasury for something that's marketing related, and like you can actually measure the impact from it. Not just that, but like also we did this whole thing in the open, like from when Carlos initially like submitted the proposal, and then I kind of jumped in too, like when there were a lot of Q&A with the Polkadot governance, like open governance community over there, OpenGov. There was a lot of back and forth and skeptical people, and people wanted to know more. So like we were really like intense with them, and even with a lot of the dApps in the ecosystem, we did a bunch of outreach to them, etc. And then once that proposal came through, which was all voted on publicly, Angelina from our team like jumped into this planning phase, which was done in the open again, where like we're like, look, like of the pie, let's the proposal pie, this much is dedicated towards like promoting the network, like Polkadot proper, and then this other percentage is towards like promoting players and products, services, etc. in the ecosystem, to Brave users. Like put your best players here. We'll have them shine for crypto users, etc. She did this all in the open in the governance forums there too, like where the community was like putting forward dApps that for us to include, etc. Like from planning phases, and then after we started launching stuff, like she was updating the forum in the open with results, as we were getting them, and kind of aggregating them, etc. And then like these last updates, like there's still one final wrap up report she's working on now, that because you have to wait 7 days from when the final new tab takeover runs, and then they also were doing like a post survey afterwards. So there's some results that were taking a little bit more, lag time to get in. But like what's super cool about this is it's like, dude, like if your treasury is looking, or your DAO is looking at a proposal that puts a magnet on the side of a plane that nobody's gonna see, or like you have something that's actually like tangible and measurable, and getting in front of an audience, like when people are serious about like kind of seeing how things do and finding market fit, like these are the types of things that we can, I mean, we can put out there for them, and it's super cool because like we're open about it too. We're like, we wanted the community to see what it was, and we wanted to take feedback and address concerns. And so I think that like it was a cool example. Like it's one of those ones we can look at if you guys are looking for more examples of like how things are doing on like other ways, because we're also talking with other ecosystems about this too, and using it as an example, because I think we can start just hitting other foundations and DAOs up around these types of efforts, or even like partners too, where it's like, look, like if your community is involved and we want to get in, we can do a bunch of stuff, like and actually measure it, and show you that you're getting something back, which I think like people should ask for those things. But anyway, I hope that helps. Like it was a cool thing that we worked, and basically like we put some numbers up too. I think like in total we did this doesn't include the notification campaigns. We did something like 17.5 million impressions, and with a global click-through, a blended click-through rate of 4%, and 34% of the clicks like converting to site visits that were there for 5 seconds or longer. And then I think the numbers on the impressions are just going to go way up too once we add in those new tab takeovers, because those average around 12 to 13 million per day, if it's global, and it's pretty awesome that to just have this out there in the open, and et cetera, for other communities to do. But I think you'll see more and more of these as we go forward too, because this L2 space is growing. all these other areas are growing too, and we can help actually get measurable stuff in front of crypto users. So anyway, yeah, use that link I put in the chat in case anybody wants to use it as an example. But I thought it was pretty cool, and it seemed like the Polkadot folks were impressed. And yeah, we'll see where it goes. But more and more,
I'm gonna have to edit it a little bit. Get a more clickbaity title. Something.
yeah, no, like use my make pizza out of the dough.
Yeah, but yeah, like most of these L1s and L2s do have like a considerable budget that they spend almost entirely on quote unquote KOLs, and the KOLs are not even like real impressions. People just buy followers and they buy likes and views and stuff like that. So it's literally just kind of like churning, shouting into the wind.
It is.
Just kind of churning noise really. So if we manage to somehow break into this like cycle, then yeah, it'll be big.
It'd be great. Like, and this is a tricky cycle too, because like if you look, like the market cap is like, for general like aggregate is like almost to where it was in 2021, but like the retail part of the cycle is so different with this one where gosh, it's like, okay, like we're back to round 2 of meme coin stuff going on, and it's just interesting to watch, but it's exciting too. And I think we'd be right in the middle of it, and it gets me super excited about the on-chain push we're doing. And it's kind of happening across the board too. I've been meeting with Aubrey and some folks on the creator side about getting more of the on-chain direction going there, and with Christopher too on rewards. It's just like everybody's rowing in the same direction on this. And we've also been meeting with some ecosystems too over the past couple of weeks to talk about all of this stuff with rewards and on-chain, and how we can it's going to free up BAT to be more usable and secondary, and people not stuck in this like fee-based mess of you got to pay to get your stuff out and all these other things. Like disintermediate, get out there with BAT and get it flying. So super excited about that too. But yeah, I'm just looking at the chat, and it looks like something neat hit nightly. Keith was saying customizing the AI model. Yeah, super cool.
If you want to talk about that, go ahead. But there was something else I noticed in Nightly recently. So there's actually like when you send a token or swaps or whatever, it actually has a animation in there while it's going until it finishes, and then it pops up that it was successful or whatever. I think that's a nice improvement to see. There was one little looks like a kind of not a typo, but like if you do more than say 2 digits, it cuts it off. But overall, it's a nice little improvement, I think, in the wallet on Nightly.
Totally. No, that's a great point. I think it's one of those things where a lot of like work's going into fixing paper cuts and reports we've gotten back, and some of that stuff's starting to come through, which is great. Yeah, super excited to see that. All right, let's any other questions, things you guys want to talk about? We got 21 minutes.
Well, feel free to talk more about the AI stuff too.
Yeah. I mean, let's see here. I'm just looking at the chat. There. Speaking of the AI stuff too, there was a tweet went out. Brian Bondi from our side was on podcast with Naomi Brockwell. I'll put a chat here, or a link in chat for that one too. Hang on. Let's see here. All right. I will put that in chat for you guys who want to check it out. But Naomi is amazing, and a little bit she gives Brave the love often, and had Bondi on to talk about privacy and AI and all that good stuff. More of that coming too. And cool. What else do you guys want to talk about? Anything? Nothing. Bueller.
I'm trying to do some math with ChatGPT, and it's not working. So I was like, let me go see if Leo is better.
Yeah, she should be using Leo, man.
See, no. I do use Leo, but sometimes you just gotta compare, and contrast, so you can then like be like, whoa, look, our stuff is better,
Marshall's got a hand up too. What's up, Marshall?
Do you want to just mention and remind everyone about the scammers who are trying to do this Brave Talk thing where you had to download some software to use Brave Talk?
Yes. I'm glad you mentioned that too. I'll put a link that I put out yesterday or retweeted from Jan Zhu, our chief infosec officer. There were these scams that people were getting where it was like people were thinking it was like or posing as people with a job opportunity and encouraging people to download Brave Talk. And it was through a downloadable link that wasn't from the talk.brave.com domain. One, don't click those. Two, if you see those, like send security at Brave a note with the domain that was used, but don't click it. And again, like folks, you don't have to download anything to use Brave Talk. Talk.brave.com is the domain for it. If you see anything else that's sus like that, let the team know. We appreciate the reports we get from people. And Marshall, is there anything I'm missing here that you want to add to that too?
No, I mean, you hit the two key points. One, we never asked you to download anything. You got yourself, beg your pardon, you got yourself the Brave browser. You've already downloaded everything you're going to need for life. Second, basically, never click through any of those sites. Just copy the link, paste it in to our security folks so they can basically figure out what's going on and get the domain taken down. Yes, I guess it's nice to have kind of reached the point where the bad guys are using Brave Talk as attempting to use it as a phishing vector. Although frankly, I'd much rather that we had nicer people saying, "Oh, we love Brave Talk," instead of bad guys trying to, trick people. But long story short, you never need to download anything. And if you ever run across it, just copy paste the link, never click it, send it to us, and then close that tab.
Yes. And I guess that is a rite of passage, like to a degree. we made it to that level where people are using it for that. So keep an eye out on it. Again, any reports back are appreciated. And cool. What else do we want to talk about, folks? Anything?
To kind of stay on the topic, that scam is really, really popular, and I've almost fallen for it one time. Someone reached out to me and be like, "Oh, do you want to talk to the CEO of this and that?" And I was like, "Yeah." And then they sent me a link. This is before they started using Brave Talk, right? They sent me a link and was like, "Oh yeah, you should go download this app so you can translate to Japanese or whatever." And I'm like, "Why do I need to do that?" Then I looked through the websites. They spelled things wrong, and I'm like, "Okay, this is obviously a scam." And I just exited the page. But yeah, it's kind of funny that they've decided to turn around and start using Brave Talk. I guess good tech is always adopted by the fringes first.
Yeah, and it's one of those things too where like so many people are, looking for work and whatnot that it becomes like an area where people might not pay as close of attention because they are just so excited to get a ping back on an opportunity or something like that. So keep your eyes peeled and just remember you don't have to download anything to use it when you want to use it. There's also been some we're getting some good feedback too on some of the VPN updates on the annual pricing and things like that, and some of the numbers are looking good there too. Yeah, let's keep it going forward. Also, yeah, I'm just seeing a lot of really good pickup around people moving to Brave for the first time because of some of these Chrome changes that are starting to land, and people are starting to get the messages around, uBlock Origin and other Manifest v2 blockers that are no longer supported because of those Manifest v3 changes, which is cool to see. And it's always neat to see, like, we get good ongoing, like, continuous feedback from users, but when you get that first look feedback from people, and like Keith was sending me some good DMs about this too, like when people are evaluating and giving that initial feedback, like, or when people change because of these events, and they hadn't really considered it until something forces them to change. That feedback's always really great to have. So if you guys see that too, like, and want to forward them to me, like over DM or tag us in or whatever, that's always greatly appreciated, because those are like, those incidents are ones where it's like you've got the case where somebody's just kind of looking or testing something out casually, but then you've got the cases where people feel like, okay, I can no longer use this thing, and I would rather not be having to pick something new, but here we go, I'm trying something new. Like, you can kind of see how the different degrees of issues that people encounter when they have to experience something that is more of a necessity than a casual kind of thing. So I love it. If you all notice that stuff and want to send it, it's super helpful. And appreciate everything everybody's doing to kind of get the word out there too. Though I wish, like, see more and more people like calling out Perplexity, and I'm like, you guys, Brave Search has it all too. Like, you sat there, but just another day of reply guying on my behalf. But we'll keep it going. Spread the word. New Keith does love arguing on the internet. I love watching it. It's fantastic. And jumping in from time to time. Man. Yeah. I don't know what else we want to bring up. Duck, you got a question? How's it going, Duck?
Hey, is my mic coming through?
Yeah. Good to hear from you.
Yeah, it's been a while since I've been able to make one of these calls. So sort of on kind of tangentially related to the previous topic. I know in the past that there was a fair amount of work sort of put out to trying to inform creators and get various creators involved, and ranging right from smaller unknown creators right up to the larger people in their respective spaces. I was wondering if that kind of initiative was still going. So, like, for example, with like I've noticed Brave being featured in a lot of thumbnails for the Manifest v3 changes, but then so the creators are obviously aware of Brave, and yeah, but then they never seem to actually mention that Brave is not affected by the Manifest v3, the major ad blocking changes. So I was wondering if that was something that Brave was still kind of doing outreach on, or if that was at the moment just sort of mostly community driven and on an individual basis. Like, I know you are constantly hammering that point across, but I was wondering if there was an organized sort of concerted attempt at getting various creators on board.
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and I think, like, we've been engaging with creators, like, in different areas, and I think with the Manifest v3 stuff, there'd been a bunch of focus around trying to get us into PR coverage around it. But I think you're right. Like, it could be something where we are, like, going and being more aggressive on with that. Part of the other thing we're looking at too, like, just when we had all these different custodians at play, it kind of like it hampered the creator side a little bit, because you have users that are like, oh, I'm verified with Uphold, I can't contribute tip to Gemini or whatever. But I think, like, one of the things I've been talking about, I spoke with Aubrey on who oversees our creator team last week about it, is like leaning in a lot more on the on-chain stuff, and then also like getting more of these like other platforms set up to verify with, so you could link it to your on-chain address to like other platforms, and so we're putting some items there. But I think nearer term, like exactly what you're saying, right? Like we could be hitting them up more about this, because just organically we're seeing a lot of chatter around it. And the thing that's interesting is that like a lot of times people think that we're on radar with creators, and a lot of times we're not. Like I've been doing this with like podcasts where I've been hitting up a lot of podcasters directly around like, hey, look, like love to get on your show to talk about X, Y, and Z thing we're doing. We'll also love to get you on our podcast, etc. And like some of them like don't even know, like people you think would know don't necessarily know. So I think more outreach to creators on this front would be good. And I think it's something we could work into the mix of stuff that we're working on with creators in a couple of different areas that aren't manifest related, like V3 related, because it is a nice way to tie it together, because people universally, like not universally, but a lot of people align on like blocking ads compared to like other things, and it is very topical right now, like in a moment to get out there with it. I think it's really good.
So, sort of what prompted me to bring this up was I've seen a lot of various posts and videos. With the manifest changes are kind of coming back into the public eye right now, because they were announced and everyone was angry about it, and then everyone kind of seemingly forgot and it was delayed. But now it's so with I think it was uBlock got the tag on the extension store basically saying, hey, this doesn't work anymore. I've seen a lot of posts of text, video, whatever, of all formats, where they will mention just blanket Chromium browsers, and a little thing will pop up with Brave, which isn't incorrect. Brave is a Chromium browser, but it's kind of misinformation by omission, because then they'll mention, and it's odd because I've seen in the very next breath or very next sentence they'll say browsers such as Firefox or Opera will not be affected by this, but Opera is still Chromium, and then it just seems very odd that I know we have a bit of a persecution complex here at Brave, because and a lot of things have I don't think that's necessarily unreasonable for that feeling to be here, because we do seem to be held to a much higher standard. But I was wondering if there has been like specifically any outreach to, for example, I think it was LTT had Linus had a video fairly, I can't remember if it was actually Linus, but one of the Linus Media Group channels had a post about the manifest changes, and they had Brave in the thumbnail, in the title card, but then they didn't actually mention Brave at all specifically. So they are obviously aware that at the very least Brave is somehow tangled up and involved in the issue, and I'm sure that the people there are aware of it. So I was like, rather than I know you addressed the rewards and the tipping and stuff like that, I was wondering if there was any, say, information packs or easily, other than the social media posts, because I know there's heaps of them, any outreach and potentially even sponsorships specifically about the hey, this doesn't affect Brave.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it's not that I'm aware of, right? But I think that it's something we should do. And I think like it's one of those things where it could even roll up under a few things where like there are a bunch of things in the news recently too around like antitrust and remedies for that, and like Brave, it's applicable to Brave too. Like I'd love to get in more with creators on this where we have more of these like partnerships too, and this is one where like the manifest v3 thing is a hard one, because it's such a technical, even the jargon is super technical, and I'd love to have a creator like communicating it more plainly, and drilling into it, and also like how it is an opportunity too. And this is one of those reasons why, like, personally, I'm like so aggressive when I go in and reply like to like a lot of comments on a single thread about it, because in one circumstance it's unfortunate, or from one sense it's unfortunate that Brave isn't lumped in, like, and that they kind of badge us that way with the Chromium. But on the other hand, it's also an opportunity for us to tell the world, hey, look, like, even back in 2019 when this was first being discussed, the team got proactive, and then what other browsers are hardening it at that core Chromium core code base level. You know, so not only do we have like this engine that's like protecting you as you're browsing the web, but also like the team puts a lot of care into making sure that the core code is like hardened, and that we're doing things that are just not as basic as like simply forking the browser over, which, don't get me wrong, is like not a lot of, I mean, it is a lot of work to maintain and deal with that. But also, like, there's all these different steps that the teams like just was doing, not because of like PR coverage, but just because it was the right thing to do for our users. And we saw the impact of those changes, because it's interesting, like, Manifest V3 is one of those things where you saw it on the horizon and you're like, whatever they say the reasoning is for it, you know that it's going to impact things a certain way, and so you want to get ahead of it. But then there's other things that are very weird, where, like, with the cookie deprecation thing, where it's like they say they're going to deprecate third-party cookies, then they kick the can down the road, and it's another year. Then they're like, we're not going to do it, and now they're like, oh well, maybe. It's very weird, like, and stuff is. But these ones are ones where we can go out and say, hey, look, like, we were so far ahead of this. We, like, you know, like 5 years ago, the team was working on moving us ahead of this problem, right? And like, when the reactions I see from people to those posts are like really positive generally, unless they just hate us, which, you know, there's always going to be that percentage of the population that's just, there doesn't matter what you say, they're not going to, like, their intention wasn't to have a good conversation anyway. But I think that you have a really good point. Like, maybe it's like a one sheeter we ship to them, where we're like, hey, look, like, we want to get the word out about this, and would love, like, you know, love to have you like communicate this bit to your audience, and blah 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 blah, like, kind of package it like you're saying, because I don't think that we've done any outreach like that around this specific issue. But it's one where once we get in a cadence too with those creators, like, we can, you know, give them more info too as new things come out, because there's going to be stuff around. There already is, like, there are some remedies around the payments use with the app stores, for those remedies with from the government to Google, that we could be talking about. And then there's going to be like search and other things that are coming down the pike too with remedies from the government too, that are going to be topical, that Brave will get shout outs for. So I think that's a really good point you bring up. And you know, one of the reasons too we've been hitting the payment so much in Q2 in early Q3 with a lot of these pilot tests with some of these creators in different areas, was to show other creators we talk to, hey, look, like, we also can help get the word out about your show to our users who aren't seeing ads or whatnot. And so yeah, I think we could tie those together well, and I think it's really smart to kind of go and approach some of these guys. If you have any, you know how to DM it. Do you, like, if you have specific creator? I know you mentioned Linus, but if there are others that come to mind, Duck, I'd love to hear them from you or from anybody else.
I'll do some brainstorming and see what I can come up
Yeah,
with.
please do, because like, we're always looking for, like, okay, what are the prime targets to go after? Like, and the community's been like a really great resource for us to, like, either like dumb check ideas we have, but also give us new ones, because you guys are seeing things that we're not, and you guys are approaching the problem differently from us too. I mean, that's one of the things I love about these calls and this group here, is that, like, everybody just wants to see Brave do well, because there's all these different reasons why, but like, you know, getting the vantage point from everybody is like super valuable. So yeah, DM me if you have ideas around what you want to hit us with, or areas just like this one too. If there's other topics aside from Manifest V3, we'd love to get feedback on it. But yeah, and Baz, you got a hand up too, so we got less than a minute, or we'll end it off with you, man. What do you got?
Has this already been reported? But in the main build on Android, and it's been happening for like a couple months, but I think a little bit less frequently lately. It's like sometimes when you have groups of tabs, it just like randomly won't let you like click through them or interact with them, or basically kind of like locks up on them.
Huh.
And sometimes also doesn't want to let you just close individual ads, like tabs. It'll like just want to like try to, it'll like prompt you, do you want to like delete the whole group instead? And usually it's like one of those things to get around, like you have to like force close the browser, then like reopen it up, or sometimes even just like minimizing and coming back in sometimes will be enough depending on the day.
Do you notice it happening when you have like reach a certain number of tabs, or like you have a lot, or is it something that's happened when you've had a small?
I mean, I always have a lot of tabs in my phone, a lot of windows.
Yeah.
So that's a state normal.
Okay, cool. That's helpful. Let me check and see if we've had reports of it. I haven't hit that one initially myself, but let me see what we've got, and I'll hit up Tim from our team too on the Android side, and give him a note about it.
Yeah, because it's kind of like a weird thing, because like it's kind of annoying when it happens. And I was saying, I guess if I refer someone to Brave and that happened like in the first week or two, they were using it, that'd probably be a bad look. It's kind of like, what the heck?
Yeah, no, browser locks. Those are like, you can see it. Like there's the Google console, like through the Play Store. They have this, like it's called an ANR, app not responsive or responding failure, and those are the ones where like if you have a app not ANR rates that like jump up, you see like the users drop, like whether uninstalls or just inactive, like right away. Like it almost immediately correlates with like a high percentage. And so you're totally right. Like, and that's one of the reasons I want to flag it to the team, is because those types of lockups are like they're like brutal. It's not good to have. So let me check and see if it's been known, and then I'll send it over. I might ask you for some device info or something. Not, I mean, just like model make or whatever. If it's not known, but
yeah, just send me like a Slack message or something if you need info.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, Baus. And thank you all. We were 3 minutes over, so I'm going to end it with that. Thanks for joining today. We'll be back 1 week from today. Same bad time, same bad channel. Until then, I'll see you all online, my friends. Have a good one, and take care.
Bye now.
Bye, everybody. God's
See
turn is not
everyone.
bald.
Bye bye.